all the talk about cutting taxes, you know, it's the damnedest thing here. I have this little bit written by, I think it's Bruce Bartlett, who is a economics reporter. Would that be fair? He said, I don't know, he said this, but hearing some politicians talk about taxes, you might be convinced the U.S. has one of the highest tax rates in the world, right? But the reality is the federal tax rate is the lowest it's been in 60 years. And yet the Palins and the Pigman and the rest of these slime who are determined to destroy America, and they're doing a good job of it because normal Americans are allowing it to happen. We have allowed a few, maybe 30 or 40, truly sociopathic bastards to take control and continue to dismantle the country, and apparently it's all right with us. The reality is the federal tax rate, broadly measured, is the lowest it has been in 60 years. A look at the effective tax rate, which expresses taxes as a share of the country's economic output, turns into a lie. The stream of political rhetoric that says taxes are high. Bruce Bartlett, by the way, was a senior policy analyst under Ronald Reagan. Federal taxes will be 14.8% of the nation's economic output this year, according to a recent estimate from the Congressional Budget Office. That's compared to a post-war, I guess, the Great War, World War II, a post-war annual average rate of 18.5%. So federal tax is now 14.8%. With the nation's gross domestic product at about $15 trillion, that low effective rate, 14.8%, means the federal government is missing out on hundreds of billions of dollars every year. Of course. That's the idea, Bruce. You and your boy Reagan helped get this happening. Come on. In an interview with Huffington Post, Bartlett said, quote, revenues have been at a historically low level for 3 years now. So we've probably left $1 trillion on the table. No kidding. Of course. But, Bruce, that's the idea. He added that the most recent year when the federal government took less from the economy than it is now was 1950. And he said two things. He said there's no evidence that lowering taxes further would help stimulate the economy. And he also said water is wet. 2 blinding truths. Oh, my God. Why didn't somebody tell us? Mark Zandi, chief economist of Moody's Analytics, said in an interview, quote, the effective federal tax rate is, quote, low by historical standard, and it's rarely been as low, end quote. Gary Burtless, a former Labor Department economist and a current fellow at the Brookings Institution in Washington, said, quote, it's very hard to understand where the impression has come, where it's come about that we currently have high taxes, or that our taxes are high in relation to those of other rich countries. These are low tax rates that we're currently facing in relation to our incomes, in relation to the size of the national economy. Low. They've never been lower. And this low effective rate, Mark Zandi said, is a result both of the weak economy and recent tax cuts. Woo-hoo! So while Americans are in the wake of a recession, and we are told constantly, we're so heavily taxed. Oh, my God, how do you put up with it, Americans? The federal government takes such a small portion of the country's income, down around 1950s level, 60 years ago. But when you listen to the Sarah Palins, and you listen to this, and you listen to that, and you listen to the other, oh, no, we're being taxed to death. We got to cut taxes even further. It's a lie. When do Americans realize that it's a lie? When Americans realize that the Republicans are people that say, well, Paul Revere, the reason he did his ride was to warn the British that they couldn't take our guns. Yeah, that's what Sarah Palin said today. We'll be right back.